Good afternoon. Welcome. We're here to honor someone really special to all of us. Bill was many things to many people, and I'd like to just say a few things about who he was to me. He was a father, he was a true friend, and he was a mentor to many besides his immediate family. He exemplified a verse from Philippians that says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but to the interests of others." More than things, Bill valued relationships. He saw value in people he met, often out of a chance meeting wherever, in an and integrity. As in Isaiah, the Lord said, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us? Here am I, send me." That was Bill. He answered the call to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. He didn't ask anyone to do anything that he hadn't done or wouldn't do himself. He was supremely generous. If he saw that someone needed something, he would likely figure out a way to get it. Sometimes things they didn't even know they needed. His yes was yes, and his no was no. The day before his birthday last year, Bill wrote a note to me. In part, it said, "I'm not sure I'm supposed to be here. I can't explain it. The closest thing I can get is that the whole thing was never in my hands, ever. I owe a lot of credit to you for having shown me at least part of the path. Thanks." Path capitalized. Based on that and some other conversations that we had, I think he was referring to his own path of salvation. We each get to choose our own path. We know who wins in the end, the Lord. I want to be on the right team. I want to be on the winning team with the right coach. And when I meet the Lord face to face, I think Bill will be right there beside him, chuckling, waving me in and saying, "Good heavens, you're here." I look forward to that day. Now, if you would pray with me. Lord, I ask your blessing on Bill. I pray that he is with you now and that we will see him again soon. Bill, you've set an example for all of us in the way that you have cared for so many people, lifted them up so they could be successful, given them a sense of belonging and worth. Help us, Lord, to emulate Bill by loving one another, forgiving each other, and where we see others falling short, standing in the gap and supporting them, sharing what we have with them, helping to meet their needs. Lord, I ask your blessing on each person here today, and I pray that we all will choose the winning team. Bill, I will treasure each memory of you until we meet again. Amen. Now, Ivory Veal has written an outstanding poem for this occasion. I'd like to share that with you. It's called Fidelis. Commanded cause, judgment, duty and objective, born, branded spear. Excuse task, climb the rung, drill the boot print, press the wire, raised fire, never a brawly tear. Amphibious push, cold haze, frontline platoon, smoke the dark, bread to bark, strip the gear. Family one, grind the gap, crease the current, notch the hook, wind the reel. What fear?
There we go. Short people need our accommodations. Carl is reminding me that if you haven't turned your phone off, it would be great, so we don't have miscellaneous beeps. I just want to thank all of you for being here. You were all really important to Bill, important to me, and it's great that you're sharing this day. I used to tell Bill that he married me because I was the only woman he could find who was shorter than he was. But really, he was a giant. He had a giant presence, he had a giant intellect, and most of all, he had a giant heart. Someone recently said to me that his arms were wide open, and that is exactly who he was. He was a treasure. He made me laugh every day. I was really lucky to meet him, and I was even more lucky to get almost 50 years with him. We frequently told each other that we were the best thing that ever happened to each other, and that was absolutely true. He had a lot of names depending on when and how and where you knew him. He was William, he was Archie, he was Bill, husband, best beloved, father, dad, coach, friend. He was all of those things. But no matter what name you used or how you referred to him, he was a completely loving, generous person. He loved his family, he loved his friends, he loved track and field and books, history in particular, bagpipes, the Marine Corps most definitely, fishing. There were years when it was like, you're going fishing again? How many fish am I going to have to fillet? He loved the sea. The sea was one of his first loves. He lived by the Marine motto, Semper Fi, and he cared fiercely about anything and anyone he loved. So we've tried to gather the people and things that were dearest to him. He can't be replaced, but we can remember him. And I want to thank you for helping remember him today.
Okay, we got some trouble, so I don't have mine up here.
I know. You gotta watch me every minute.
Bear with me. Try to get through this as best I can. Some of the things you're going to hear repeated. Mike and Michelle stole a lot of my stuff, so. But it's all true, and you're going to hear it again. As we gather here today, we find ourselves feeling many emotions. It's not easy to say goodbye, especially to a man like William Archer Owens, known to many as Bill, Arch, and coach to many. I never even knew his middle name was Archer until a couple of weeks ago. I stand before you today to share some fond memories and pay tribute to him. He was my guiding star, my greatest mentor, my best friend. His passing leaves a profound void, yet his spirit continues to surround and guide us forever. He was an amazing man in so many ways. He was an amazing husband, father, mentor, and just a person. He loved his wife, Michelle, more than anything on this earth. And anybody around him for more than 30 seconds knew. He never let you forget it. And he loved her from the bottom of his heart. He was an amazing father to Kevin and Kathy, and loved them so much also. But he was also a father figure to so many others, including myself. And by wandering through here earlier, I heard stories from people that I was meeting for the first time that said the same thing I did. He was athletes who he loved and adored. A lot of people came through that house over there on 7249 Eureka. A lot of people got fed over there. I was one of them. Unlike the rest of them, Ivory and I was a little bit smarter than the rest because we never left. Showed up one Thanksgiving in '87. Michelle cooked some wild rice. I was hooked. Never left, and matter of fact, that's where I came from today. I'm going back this evening. I want to thank my brother Kevin for sharing his pops with us. He shared his pops with a lot of people. And I was one of those that he shared them with. To so many people, he was the only father figure that they had. One of the best titles that I got from this family besides son came from Kevin. It was Big Bruh. And that still means the world to me. See, I was really blessed, not just with one set of amazing parents, but I was greedy. I got blessed with two sets of amazing parents. See, Michelle and Coach have always been there for me. I don't remember a time that they weren't there for me. And I'm not the person I am today, and I'm not here if I don't have them in my life. Over a whole lot of years, and my wife reminds me, it was really bad. I lied to my mother about what I did in the Marine Corps. For 16 years, I had her food that I worked in admin. Every pitch I sent her, I was sitting at a desk. I had a typewriter, and she knew I was safe. But one day, the postman came by, and he had to bring a package inside because it was so heavy. And he looked up on the wall, and my mother had a picture of me on the wall, and it had gold jump wings and a scuba bubble on it. And he said, "Oh, that's your son?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, he's in reconnaissance." She said, "Yeah, whatever that is it in the office?" "Oh, no, ma'am. He jumps out of the airplane, scuba dives, he does all the straights, he all over the world, he's special operations." Like, no, he works in the office. "No, ma'am." And I got a phone call from my mom, and she had my 4 brothers and sisters on the couch interrogating them. And I really hadn't heard her use language like that before. But after that, she started talking with Coach. And Coach would give me that, I'm pretty sure everyone has seen that look, which the first couple of times, it's kind of intimidating, but then you realize nothing comes after it. So it doesn't really scare you anymore. But she started talking with Coach, and Coach just said, "Tyler, see what you got me into?" "Sorry, Coach," which I wasn't sorry, but I said that to him. And he said, "I am not lying to your mom. So I wouldn't tell Coach where I was. I wouldn't tell him what I was doing, and that way he didn't have to lie. But she would call him and call Michelle, and they just developed a relationship behind my back that I didn't even know was going on. So before my mom died, she told me I was in good hands, and I told her that I already knew. I see a lot of coaches, track athletes in here, so for you, it's pretty much like she handed the baton off and handed me over to Michelle and Coach. So I know you all can relate to that. I know it might be hard for some of you all to believe, but Coach tended to speak his mind, believe it or not. He wasn't quite one to hold back on anything he wanted to say. And that's what made him who he was. Everything that came from him came from the heart. You knew exactly what you were getting. You knew exactly who you were getting. Anyone that met him knew exactly that. He loved his family. Everyone, right now we're just going to go to the, join us in the back. We're going to have a toast for our coach, Bill, William, Dad, Pops. So if you'll join us in the back, please. Thank you. Just recovering. To William Archer Owens, let's remember him always, for he earned our respect and admiration. We knew him, we loved him, and he would never be forgotten. Next couple of things, the Marines in here would know that what I'm talking about. Never above you, never below you, always beside you. Simplify, hoorah, to my dad. Thank you. You know, at this time, you've heard from us. I know Michelle wants to thank everybody for coming, everybody. But we know everybody has a little something that they want to say, or if you would like to say. So I want to open it up. You want to come up for a minute or two to give a fun memory or something you want to remember.
Tell a funny story.
Tell a funny story, which I know you all have some. If you were around Coach for any amount of time, you got a funny story. Or something that he did, or that face I made that we all know, or that that gruff of trying to be tough, but like I said, after a while, it didn't scare anybody anymore. So.
Can I just stand here?
You can stand here.
Okay. My name is Gina Cole, and I know Bill as Archie. He was my freshman track coach at UC Berkeley. I ran 400 meters, and of all of the coaches that I've ever had, I mean, he was just so motivational for me. I was 18 years old. I knew nothing about anything. And here I am as a freshman at Berkeley, and I come in, and I am like, thinking that I was really fast in high school and everything. And I come into a team of women who are running my fastest time in practice. And he was so encouraging. He was like, don't worry about that. You're okay. You're doing fine. They've got a lot of years of development on you. And he would spend extra time with me, just talking to me and telling me, you're going to be fine. You're doing great. And I just always remember that. It was always just right there to say the right things to keep me going. And I ran one of my best times that year, and so much of it had to do with just him being so supportive. And I just remember one race in particular where when you're racing, you're in your own little world, and you're coming, I was 400 meters, so I'm coming around the last turn, and I hear his voice say, Gina Marie, pick it up. And I picked it up, and it was like my fastest time. So anyway, so that is my fondest memory of Archie, and we truly miss him.
Anybody else want to tell a story?
Well, hello, my name is Vanetta Campbell. I have 2 tags because my husband, Tony Campbell, was, as we know, affectionately Archie. He met Archie in Oakland in the 70s when he was just coming from New York. He said he was a young man who had a lot on his mind, and California was a new opportunity. When he met Archie, he said Archie was more of a big brother than just a mentor. And he enjoyed just going around and experiencing track and field, which he's involved with to this day. A few things, he always said that Archie educated him about life, not just about track and field, but about being a man. And he really appreciated that. He also said that there are different opportunities where these conversations took place. Some were on the track, some were in the watering hole, which is a home, right? If any of my memories there. And more importantly, there's one quote that Archie always said. It was, "When in doubt, think small." And Tony and I have held this quote for years in different ways and different perspectives. And Tony said he continues to share that quote with not just athletes who he's involved with as a sports agent, but anybody who he encounters who needs a little bit of wisdom at the most crucial times, because he felt truly Archie was that person for him. So we miss him dearly, and just love the ceremony. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Honey, hold the microphone, please. Hello, my name is Rudy, and I want to give this to the family. I was back east a few years back, and I was just there at the right time, and I took this photograph. And I was going to my computer. Remember, this was a few years back. And I was going on my computer, different photographs. And I'm sorry.
Trying to help him here.
And I saw this photograph that I took many years ago. Thank you. And when I saw it, I thought about Archie. And the sun setting in the west. So I want to give this to the family. And I'll put it back in the box.
Pardon?
No, that's what we're going to say.
Did you want to say any more? No.
Just, Archie and I just hit it off when I just met him that one time.
Doesn't take but one time with Archie.
And one Marine to another Marine, right?
Hoorah.
And that's, it's for life. Thank you.
No former Marines. Hoorah. Anyone else?
Hello, everybody. My name is Janet Torres, and I met Michelle 14 years ago, and I heard the names that they call William, Archie, Bill, but he was my papa. I call him my papa, and let me tell you why. I'm a Zoom instructor. I'm actually Michelle's Zoom instructor, and you might be thinking, what is a Zoom instructor doing here? No, don't worry, you're not gonna have a Zumba class. But the first time that I met my papa, and I told him about what I was doing, he was so interested about my conversation and talking about my Zumba class and my students and how I was doing things, that I immediately fall in love with him, because he showed a lot of interest in my conversation, which to another people is like, okay, whatever. And he kept asking me questions and about me and my classes and my music and how I was doing things. And I thought the first time that I met him, I was like, how come somebody that never saw me before, that doesn't know anything about me, how was so interested in my conversation? And that's how he was. He always made people feel so special. And every time that I see him, we always have a lot of things to talk about. And he showed me that kind of love as a father. You know, I'm Mexican. You know, I call my father Papa, which is in Spanish, but he was my papa. And every single time that I walked to his house, he always welcomed me with a smile. Hey, what's up, my Zumba girl? How you doing? And there's another funny story that was, I was one. So funny, so lovely man. And for me, he always gonna be my papa, no matter what, no matter where he's at. And I'm so honored to be here today because I'm just a Zumba instructor, but he never made me feel that way. He always, and Michelle and her family, they made me feel so special. So Papa, whatever you are, I'm here, and I promise you, every single time that I cook guacamole, I will think about you. Thank you.
So we're all here celebrating my Uncle Bill. My name is Chris. I don't have a long story, but my Uncle Bill was always there for me and my sister when we were growing up. It was a little rough, a little tough when we were growing up. And anytime we needed something like athletic shoes or gym bags or a weight set or something I was interested in at the time, walkie-talkies or something like that, my Uncle Bill would always surprise us and come through and help us out. Really big for me was not just the interest he took in me, but whenever we'd go and visit, how comfortable we were. It was just a relaxing place for us to kind of unwind. We didn't have that at home a lot, so it was just nice to be comfortable and loved. And Matt and Michelle would always feed us, and I'd probably used to eat too much of the cheesecake all the time, but it was just really good times, and I miss my Uncle Bill. And I think one of the things we still laugh about today is how we'd see my Uncle Bill, and whenever we do something, act up a little bit, or do something we were supposed to, or he just thought we were doing something we were supposed to, we were in deep fat. Deep fat. That was us all the time. You're going to be in deep fat, so I love my Uncle Bill.
Hi, my name is Bailey, and the three of us ran track back at El Cerrito High School in the late 80s, and Archie was there, and Archie made us feel special. And I can't quite figure out why, but we would go out on our Saturday nights, always after track meets, and we would drive around, and for some reason we would end up at 7249. And we would tap on the door, and Michelle would open the door, and she'd point to the back, and we'd go back, and we would spend a lot of time there, and I don't remember what we talked about, but he definitely made us feel important and special, and we've carried that all of these years. So, to Archie.
Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. He's still looking over us. He's still smiling. He's still touching our lives. And my wife just said there's still a lot of food here. It's all paid for, so please. But thank you all for coming. No guacamole, though. Somebody's in trouble. Sorry. All right, thank you all.